Uh, Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about our research on immersive analytics titled Multimodal Data Exploration in a Mixed Reality Environment using Coordinated Multiple Views, presented at the HCI International Conference earlier this year. Immersive analytics is an emerging field of data exploration and analysis in immersive environments. So when it comes to exploring data, visualization is the norm. We make line charts, scatter plots, bar graphs, or heat maps to look for patterns in data using traditional desktop-based approaches. However, biologically, humans are optimized to observe the world in 3 dimensions. So this research is focused on the idea that representing data in an immersive 3D environment can provide a completely fresh perspective that may lead to the discovery of previously undetected patterns. The past work has focused on various aspects of immersive analytics involving different kinds of environments like desktop virtual environment, cave, mixed reality or fully VR, coordinated multiple views, analytics tasks such as outlier detection or trend determination, identifying relationships, modalities like audio and haptic in addition to visual, interaction techniques such as zoom, filtering, details on demand, various kinds of toolkits and environments, data sets such as static or dynamic, homogeneous or heterogeneous, and real world data sets, and various comparative studies. However, there are some gaps in the literature. So high dimensional data sets are understudied in the field of immersive analytics. The data used for studies are typically 3D in nature and hence are well suited to produce good performance in a 3D mixed reality environment. Most published studies utilize static rather than time varying datasets. For dynamic datasets, it is often useful to perform time series analysis where the data fields evolve in time, for example, like a video. This approach is very common in desktop case studies, but hasn't been explored in depth in immersive spaces. Um, Very little interaction is observed in the current studies with few exceptions. However, this may be intentional to manage the effect of interactions on user performance or efficiency. An example is limited exploration of multimodal interactions. Sound and touch have been largely overlooked, including limited use of voice commands. And very few studies have used real world data for conducting user studies. So in this research, we address some of the gaps in the literature. We present an approach for embodied data exploration in mixed reality environments using coordinated multiple views. We develop a prototype where we introduce a novel method of exploring time series data interactively. We also use data sonification to help users explore various dimensions of the data simultaneously. And we deploy this prototype into mixed reality environments using HoloLens 1 and HoloLens 2 devices to measure cross-platform system performance. And we also deploy a prototype into non-immersive desktop environment to conduct a study to help us analyze how users perform specific data analytics tasks in immersive mixed reality environment compared to a non-immersive desktop environment. So the IEEE VAST Challenge 2019 data are used. The task of the challenge is to apply visual analytics to help a city grapple with the aftermath of an earthquake that damaged their nuclear power plant. We specifically focus on the first part of this challenge, which deals with visual analysis of crowdsourced data about the different kinds of damage citizens observed during the course of the disaster. Citizens use a mobile app to report damage intensity in various geographical locations about the utilities like sewer and water, or power, roads and bridges, medical, billings, and shake intensity. And the timestamp at which the citizens report the damage is also recorded. So as a result, the data set generated by these reports is multidimensional time series data, which makes it suitable for the study. We use coordinated multiple views to show several views which depict various attributes of this multidimensional data. So in order to visualize the spatial dimension of the data set effectively, we leverage the geographical map of the region. Each corresponding pair of neighborhoods on the two maps are connected with each other by a line plot between them, displaying temporal information. And on the right-hand side, a scatter plot is shown. The spheres in the floor scatter plot represent a region-wise aggregate of all reported values for a variable, which is shake intensity in this case, for a particular timestamp. The spheres in this floor CMV are semi-transparent to prevent occlusion of the region labels on the map plot. In the other scatter plot shown here, we plot another variable from the data set on a map plot. A single sphere is plotted over each region, and the radius and color of each sphere is determined by the number and average value of reports received for the corresponding region. And in the right-hand side figure, we show 3D bar charts on a map plot for each region in the map. Multiple 3D bar charts are aligned in a direction normal to the map plane, leveraging the 3D space as compared to a 2D plot. And the height and color are changed based on the intensity of the variable being plotted. The data plotted on each of the CMV are shown only for a particular timestamp selected by an interactive plane called the slicing plane. Moving the slicing plane allows users to navigate along the time axis. A label showing the timestamp the slicing plane is currently at is placed vertically on top of it. So whenever users move the slicing plane along the time axis, the data on all the CMV changes to reflect the data at the timestamp where the slicing plane is intersecting the time axis. So I'll just show this again. Also, a user can interactively select data spheres in the floor CMV. This is called brushing. So once a user brushes a data sphere, its color toggles from blue to pink. The data elements and other views also get highlighted in white color for the region which is brushed. This brushing is maintained while navigating along the time axis, allowing the user to focus on the correlation between different variables for the same geographical location. A 2D histogram is displayed to view data for the brushed regions using a voice command show histogram. And if there are no brushed regions, it may not show anything. And we use data sonification, and the rationale behind using data sonification is that in scenarios with complex visualization, busy visualizations, or where the user is unable to look at multiple visuals, parallel listening can provide a great advantage. Moreover, the auditory modality is superior in detecting temporal changes and patterns as compared to the visual stimuli. And in situations of warnings, emergencies, or calls for immediate action, the auditory modality can be used to supplement the visual warning and can be especially useful where visual perception is busy, impaired, or non-existent. Familiar examples include ambulance sirens, car horns, bells on bicycles, and smoke alarms. Also, warning signals in audition have a faster response time in detecting these signals and gaining spatial attention. So therefore, auditory modality is an attractive augmentation in addition to these coordinated multiple views. So to sonify multiple streams of data in various CMV concurrently, the sounds are mapped intuitively to the data attributes wherever possible. For example, the CMV presenting water and sewage data is mapped to an auditory icon representing the sound of flowing water. The CMV representing power damage data is mapped to an earcon emitting the sound of a siren, since there is no real world sound for power. And the data on the floor CMV are mapped to the sound of cricket. And the 2D bar charts are mapped to the sounds of mimicking the sound of a bird calling. These sounds are chosen because natural sounds are found to be relaxing and have proved helpful in perception and interpretation of data. And all of these sounds have different properties within the audio spectrum to allow for easy distinction between various types of data during parallel listening. And to map data to a sound, we added a sound source to the biggest sphere in the scatter plot on the floor map plot for any given timestamp. And the amplitude of the sound source is directly proportional to the radius of the sphere from which it is emanating. Since the floor map can be scaled to room size, the direction of the sound enables users to localize the region of the map from which it emanates. For the remaining views, which are scatter plot, 3D bar chart, and 2D histogram, we assign a sound source to each of their centers. Since these CMV can be moved to any point in the room, the loudness of sounds increases as a user approaches the view. We do not map the loudness of sounds to data. Instead, we use tempo to map data into in these views to sounds. So as magnitude of the data increases, the tempo at which sound is emanating increases, like a Geiger counter. And for the slicing plane, the pitch of the sound attached to the slicing plane changes based on the sum of all damage values reported at a given timestamp. So once this multi-model CMV approach was implemented in an immersive mixed reality environment, we deployed the same system in a non-immersive desktop environment to analyze how efficient it is to analyze data in a 3D immersive environment as compared to analyzing the same data in a 2D desktop environment. We deployed a system using a WebGL browser setup on a 2D computer screen for a comparative study. And in the system, navigation is done via a first-person controller character using mouse trackpad or like keyboard arrow keys. And further, the interaction with the slicing plane and brushing of the floor data and dragging of the CMV is supported using left mouse button. The sound of various data attributes in different views is also provided. And we use the web speech API to enable voice commands, providing the same modes of interaction, visual and oral in both environments. The user study design includes a series of exploratory tasks as described in the table shown here, starting with a search task and followed by a counting task. The counting tasks were designed to prevent users from disengaging once the target information is found, providing them understanding of the global context of the situation. These were followed by tasks related to identifying important features, finding correlations, understanding data, trend determination, and anomaly detection. All of the tasks were evaluated based on task completion time and accuracy. To measure the accuracy and the time taken to complete each of the tasks in the training and task section, the data entered by users in the questionnaires were recorded. Task completion times were taken as the timestamp of the first click on the task questionnaire, and this was done to avoid any bias in terms of familiarity levels of the users with this physical keyboard versus a virtual keyboard. These figures show the participant demographics. In the immersive environment, 16 users participated in the study with an average age of 25 years, and in the non-immersive desktop environment, 18 users participated in the study with an average age of approximately 29 years. This figure shows here side-by-side box plots of users' performance in terms of task completion times for both modes of study, immersive and non-immersive. Each user submitted their responses for the 8 data analytics tasks described in the previous slide. The Wilcoxon rank-sum test, a non-parametric test, was used to find significant differences in the task completion times for each task. And task T1, T3, 4, T5, T6, and T8 show significantly lower task completion times in the immersive mixed reality environment. And this figure shows the mean of the user responses in the post-study questionnaire for the non-immersive desktop environment and immersive mixed reality environment. The comments are segregated into positive and negative. The negative comments highlighted in red and the positive in green. Overall, users preferred the mixed reality environment in terms of comfort, fatigue, intuitiveness, navigation, and interaction. This figure shows the medians for task completion times versus the accuracy rates. The blue colored markers show the data for the non-immersive mode, and the orange colored markers shows the data for the immersive mode. The different kinds of markers show each of the tasks. The data show that the accuracy rate was higher in most of the tasks in the immersive mixed reality environment, except for the task T4, which is correlation and count, and task T5, which is correlation and identification. Both of these tasks were more complex and required finding correlations between two different views, followed by a count task in T4 and an identification task in T5. So our findings are task completion times are significantly lower in the immersive mixed reality environment than in the non-immersive desktop environment for most of the tasks. Accuracy rates are equal or higher in the immersive mixed reality environment, except for the task T4 and T5 that involve correlation. Users perform significantly faster in the search task and both better and faster in the counting task in the immersive mixed reality environment. Higher number of users accurately report the biggest data sphere in the floor view at a given timestamp in the immersive mixed reality environment as compared to the non-immersive desktop environment. This could be because the projection of a 3D sphere on a 2D screen offered a suboptimal angle, making it harder to identify the biggest sphere for users. Task T8 requiring users to identifying a power outage by looking at a line plot for a specific region and identifying when it goes flat is done more accurately in the immersive mixed reality environment. And users have the highest accuracy rates in the trend determination task in both environments, where they correctly correlate the audio changes with the time varying data. So even with no prior audio training, users were able to identify how the sound was correlated with the data. This suggests that the addition of sound helps users in analyzing the data. So based on the immersive analytics system that we design for multi-model data exploration of a heterogeneous data set, we recommend the following design guidelines. Firstly, using the surrounding space, traditional 2D displays can be displayed on the walls, 3D scatter plots on the floor, and time series line plots in the 3D space. A slicing plane can be used as an interaction tool to allow navigation between various timestamps of the spatiotemporal data. Linking and brushing between the CMV allows users to get details from the displayed overview of the data. Moreover, the invisible linking in our system surpasses the problem of occlusion and clutter, which is a major problem when visual links are drawn between the CMV. And the use of sound for multiple streams of data allows parallel exploration of the various dimensions of the data. This can be proved to be most helpful for large-scale plots when the entire plot is not in view, and sound spatialization is used to draw attention towards the region of interest. One of the limitations that users indicated is that navigation in the non-immersive desktop environment could be improved. Currently, the mouse trackpad is used for changing the first-person point of view, and the mouse left click is used for brushing the spheres or dragging the slicing plane. This might have added complexity in terms of adjusting the orientation of the visualization while interacting with the slicing plane or a CMV. For the immersive mixed reality environment, entering answers in the questionnaire could be made simpler. This data collection approach was chosen to ensure consistency in both modes of study. But however, if an experiment is set up in only mixed reality environment, think aloud protocol or even speech dictation can be used instead of AR finger tapping. The user comments recorded in the study point out a need to focus on improving the sound design. Continuous warning signals were used to attract users' immediate response to a spike in any of the plot views. This, however, annoyed the users. Shorter duration sounds with varying sound qualities will be explored in the future design. Furthermore, the maximum number of concurrent sounds in a mixed reality environment for immersive analytics will be studied. And the implementation of mute commands will be investigated, which would only mute the audio source and not hide the views. And in the non-immersive desktop environment, users found it awkward or unnatural to talk to a computer screen without an activating command, such as Hey Google. So a similar voice activating command could be used to address the software with the goal of making the experience better for users. So to summarize, in this research, we presented an approach for embodied data exploration in a mixed reality environment with CMV containing 2D and 3D views. We performed an evaluation of immersive analytics tasks in a mixed reality environment and a 2D desktop environment with a goal of measuring user performance based on accuracy and task completion times. We found out that performance times are lower for users in the immersive mixed reality environment for most of the tasks. We also found out that users were able to utilize sonification to analyze one of the tasks specific to trend determination. And accuracy rates were lower in the correlation task in the immersive mixed reality environment, which paves way to further research if audio can help in such tasks when designed carefully. And I would like to thank our dean, Sampanna Kahu, Dr. Dennis Grachnin, and Dr. Kresmir Matkovich. And this is the link to the demo. I'll share it again in the chat window. And yeah, thank you.